Hi everyone, I'm Sham and welcome back to Sham's Makeup. So today we're going to review the new Sculpture Holiday Collection by Hourglass. So I did pick out this particular palette, which is their 4-quart palette. And this is their Ambient Lighting Edit Mini Sculpture Unlocked palette. So there are 4 different shades in this particular palette and I'm going to demo it for you guys. So Hourglass did also come out with their 6-pan palette, which they usually do every year, and only after some time I decided to pick it up, so that's like on its way. So I thought I would do a review of this one first before the other 6-pan palette gets in for me to do a review for you guys. So before we get into the review, if you're new to my channel, welcome to my channel. Thank you for subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure you click on the subscribe button for more of my reviews, my vlogs, and my makeup tutorials here on Sham's Makeup. And now, without a further ado, let's just get into the review. So as you can see, I don't have any makeup over my face area. I only have my foundation on. And I did set my foundation in with a translucent powder. So this is how the 4-pan palette looks like. So I do believe that all the shades are kind of repetitive, but I did not purchase any of their limited edition 6-pan palette before this. So this is their Ambient Lighting Edit Mini Sculpture Unlocked palette, and there are 4 different shades in this particular palette. The number 1 here is a finishing powder in soft light, and then here is a bronzer in the shade Golden Bronze Light, and then there's a blush which is Mood Flush, and then this one here is in highlight, which is a metallic strobe powder, Champagne Strobe Light. So I did also pick up the 6-pan palette, so I'll be doing a review on that as well. So I do have their bronzer, but this one is in the shade Radiant Bronze Light. So I'm going to try out the bronzer first, since I don't have any bronzer on my face area. I'm just going to dab it in. It kind of like has a glow finish to it. I am a fan of their bronzer, and this one is in the shade Radiant Bronze Light. So I'm going to apply this bronzer on my forehead area. So I'm kind of dabbing it in so that the product actually gets onto the skin. So I do feel that it looks light on the skin, but it is noticeable though. So now that the bronzer is done, I'm going to try out the blusher. So I'm definitely inquisitive to try this blush. So I definitely feel that the blush is pretty light comparing it to the At Night blush that I recently reviewed, which I'll link it right here for you to check them out if you haven't already. So I'm just going to dab it on the skin. So I'm just dabbing it on my cheek area. The blush does show on my skin, but I do need to like pack on a little bit more intensely for me to feel that I have enough blush on my cheek. So next I'm going to try the highlighter, which is right here. So this is their metallic strobe powder in the shade Champagne Strobe Light. So I'm lightly going to pick up the highlighter on my brush, just kind of tapping the excess, and then just going to apply this. The highlighter too does look very subtle on the skin, but the powder, which is Soft Light, it's their finishing powder. So here I do have their 3-pan palette. This one was released back then, and I do use the shade Dim Light and also the Incandescent Light just to highlight the points of my So I do like using the Dim Light and the Incandescent Light in this particular palette to set my under eye area, but I'm not sure how this particular soft light would work on my skin tone, but let's just give it a very light go. So it doesn't really show up on my skin either. So I'm very lightly going to pick up the powder, which is soft light. I'm using my Sigma brush in Powder Sweep F06. So I'm just going to apply this on my under eye area. So I'm actually looking at my viewfinder. I don't really see any of a difference with this particular setting powder. But I do feel that it has given me like a blur effect. So I don't really see myself using this soft light powder that much. But I do like the other 3 shades that are in this mini palette. So I'm going to use the bronzer on my crease area. So this is what I like to do on the days that I want to go very easy with my eye makeup. So just blending the bronzer in. So it does give you like a little definition to your eye area. So I'm just going to use the same brush. I'm going to dip it into the blusher and I'm going to apply this all over my lid. So these are the looks that I do on an everyday basis. I just apply some bronzer, some blush and mascara and I'm good to go. So on the days that I feel really lazy to do my eye makeup. So pretty much I did use this blusher to give me like an eyeshadow shade to my lid area. And I'm going to use the highlight, like very little, and just put it on the inner lid. So I'm just going to finish up my makeup and I will be right back with my verdict. So in this holiday collection, they did come out with 3 different products. One of it is the 6-pan palette. The other one is this mini edit palette, and there are also a lip product. So I did not pick up the lip product, I just picked out the face product. So this one retails at $58 and then the larger one they retail at $80. So the larger one, I believe the shades are all pretty new, but this particular mini edit palette, the shades are kind of repetitive from their previous collection. So when it comes to the packaging, I really like the packaging. It's their gold classic packaging. So now that I have all this product over my face area, I kind of have my thoughts on it. And the very first one is a soft light powder. So I did apply this particular shade soft light under my eye area just to give it like a finished look, and I really like it. I feel that it gives me an airbrush finish and it doesn't make my under eye area or my face look white for my deeper skin tone, so that's definitely a plus point. I'm trying to swatch it at the back of my hands for you guys to see it, so you probably can notice it already. So I did apply more so that it's much more noticeable, and it does have like a very soft finish to it. So I'm just going to swatch the bronzer as well, but the bronzer does swatch pretty light, so I'm not sure if it is going to show you. And this is how the bronzer looks like. It definitely looks very light or at the back of my hands, but over my face area I do like it. And it doesn't have like too much of shimmer going on. It looks very natural and glowy on the skin. So now I'm going to try to swatch the blush. I personally feel that it will not do the blush justice at all. Here I do have a swatch of the blush, but I feel that it does show pretty light at the back of my hands. But over my cheek area, I really like it. It looks very beautiful. It looks very naturally flushed on the skin. I personally feel that this particular blush would wear beautifully on most of the skin tones, and this highlighter is definitely a beautiful highlighter. I am not like an highlight kind of person. If you know me already, I hardly like applying highlighters. It's like occasionally I like applying highlighters, but this one is very, very subtle, and if you can see, this is how it looks like at the back of my hands. And since I already have the product over my face area, I personally feel that it shows much better over my face area than the swatches that I have on my hand area. If you were to ask me, is it like a must-have? I personally feel that for an holiday collection palette is definitely worth the buy. I personally really like it. This is my very first 4-quart palette from Hourglass, so I personally do like it. So along with the mini edit palette, I did also purchase their Veil Soft Focus Setting Spray, and it does come in this particular box packaging. So looking at the details of this particular setting spray, they do retail at $48, and it's an ultra fine water resistant mist that hydrates and sets makeup for 24 hours for visibly radiant blurred finish. So I'm very careful when I apply face spray, so this particular setting spray definitely has like very fine mist that I can still see it, like, you know, moving around me. You guys probably noticed that I kept on spraying it over my face area. That's because whenever I use a setting spray, even my MAC Fix Plus, it kind of gets wet on my face. But this one, it was just like a mist, very light mist. And at the first point, I felt that nothing was getting on my face, but it actually did. I at first thought nothing got on my face area, but it actually set my makeup in, and it looks very glowy. It doesn't feel sticky, it doesn't feel wet on the skin. So when I'm actually taking a look at my face on a smaller mirror in front of me, I feel the skin has a very soft blur effect, and it looks very beautiful. It looks like you have like a pretty glowing skin. So I personally do like this. So I do have a combination to dry skin, so this definitely is my favorite. I feel that it makes the skin look very beautiful. But do I recommend this for all skin type? You may want to test it out, because I think that this would add like a glow to your face area, and if you have an oily skin, it might make you a little bit more shiny or a little bit more oily than usual. So you may want to put them to test. So that's a risky part of this particular setting spray. But for me, for a combination to dry skin, I really love this setting spray. It's a beautiful setting spray. Of course, this particular setting spray is like at a higher price point, so this is much more like an event kind of setting spray for me. And I just realized that this particular setting spray is made in Japan. So when it comes to Japan, they're always made at its finest. So I really like it. So I do hope that you enjoyed my first impression come review of the mini edit palette from Hourglass, and also the Veil setting spray. Definitely leave me comment on the comment box below. I'm looking forward to be reviewing the 6-pan palette for you guys real soon. And to my very next one, stay beautiful both inside and out. Goodbye.